how do you release this high line in under a minute using the Soft Release 2.0? Check it out on this episode of How Not to Highline. Hi, I'm Ryan Jinks and welcome to my backyard. The other day I discovered something and I'm really excited to share it with you. It's when you're trying to detension a highline from the static side, the side you don't tension. Sometimes it takes longer than you want it to because they have to detension it from that side or soft release or whatever their plan is in order to give you enough slack to pull the pin to undo the web lock so you can send it back to them. Now anything under 100 feet, this isn't really helpful. But anything over 30 meters, such as like a 100 meter, 200 meter, or even a 300 meter line, this is when it becomes really nice to have this system I'm about to show you. Okay, first let me explain the setup we have here. We're going to use sew-in loops for this example. We have the Pure Lock shackle, just the shackle. It comes with a diverter that makes it into a web lock, but here I have a sew-in loop, so I don't need that part. This is really nice because the pin doesn't stick out and it also doesn't get lost, and you don't have to have that annoying little string here that gets caught in everything. I have my backup sew-in loop, which is really nice to back up to your master point when you're using a soft release. If you don't have this, you would tie off a tail, but sew-in loops don't have tails, so this is actually a really neat setup. Anyways, this shackle and this shackle are holding the soft release. It's just webbing that goes around and around and around and around, and it has a cute little Velcro there. And this is from Balanced Community, so you can buy that as a set. Now the problem is, it comes with all this extra webbing, and I have many times not taken it on a highline trip because I didn't want to hike with it. These are just munter hitches to back up that, and because I haven't tested it myself, I'd like to just clip it off. But my tail is tied off. So this is a really safe, great way to make it easy to release your highline, or this is designed technically for the park. But it's always on the tension side. So I thought to myself, what if you put it on the static side, the side that you don't tension from? And you only take this amount. You cut it off right here. You don't need all this because of what I'm about to show you. Hi, I'm going to detension this line. So I'm going to unclip from here, and I will always use a personal anchor system to clip to something if I'm working near a cliff edge before I untie. So I'm going to take this, I'll take this beaner and clip it to this extra loop because I'm going to send this back that way. Now that I'm ready to detension this line, I normally would have to go, I'm safe, and then they know to start detensioning. But the longer the high line is, the more you'd want to communicate that. But I don't have to communicate that because I'm going to detension it. And this is the exciting part. So now that I'm safe, I'm going to derig this in under a minute. And you start by taking off all the backups. Like that, keeping my stash. There. Okay. So all the backups are done, or the tied off tails or whatever you've got. Now before I undo the Velcro, because this is where the magic is, I have my tagline in a bag already over here because I used it to pull the webbing over. So I kept it organized. The top of the tagline's right here. I'm going to divert it and clip it to that point. Right there. Okay? Now we're going to transfer the weight onto this carabiner. Now, because I don't know how much this is holding, right now this is kind of a short line. It loses tension quickly. But even a loose line at 200 meters long can feel pretty heavy. So you put in your carabiner down there, and if you take another carabiner, you can add a couple zigzags in there. I can always undo them later. You can always add them, but it's nice. I don't want to be surprised and go, whoa, that's heavier than I thought. Okay, this is going to hold it. I just have to undo the soft release this far, and then it's on my tagline. I pop the pin, and I'm done. So it's under a minute if you're not making a video. So, take your Velcro off, and start to soft release. once you have enough slack that this shackle is loose, you can pop the pin. That's a cool shackle. And so it doesn't fall off, I close the pin. And woo-loo-loo, not very tight, it's not even going very fast. So I'm going to undo like maybe 2 of these. And you're sending it over like that. Now, the other side does have to pull the high line over. But they don't have to be leaning way over a cliff edge trying to dig with some line grip. And all they start is they pull the whole anchor up and then pull the webbing over. And then everyone can contribute in cleaning up. So this is a much safer way, quicker way, and I don't have to make sure they know that I'm off a high line before things start getting detention. So this is really quick, really safe, and this is with sew-in loops. Now I'm going to show you what it looks like with a web lock. Now it's time to derig a high line with a web lock on the other side. So, make sure I'm safe. I don't have to tell anybody that I'm safe because I'm going to detension it. I'm going to clip this to, and that's good enough. So, the pure shackle is going to stay. The WebLock 4.0 is going to go. I didn't use the pure diverter in this case because I have to have something to clip. But the pure shackle is pretty good. It'd be nice if I had them on both ends. So, undo the backups. It's always important to tie off your tails with or without a soft release. In case you have something slip, web lock failure, incorrect use of web lock, whatever. Okay, so I need to put all the weight onto here via my tagline. So let's divert and clip and clip. Okay, I'm going to go back and forth a couple times. Now, one more so I don't really actually have to hang on to it right away. Actually, there's enough friction when you do that. It's pretty smooth. Okay, so the only thing holding this is the soft release friction. I feel it getting tighter on this. If it starts to slip, I could always hang on to the tail. Okay, so I'm going to hang on to this, pop the pin, it's on the soft release, a little too soft, I want more release, woo, 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 woo. And they can take the whole thing and start pulling it, and the more they've got, the less soft I can do, and eventually I would take this off completely, and it would just be going straight out of the bag, and then you either decide who drops the tagline. But super fast. You don't have to wait for anybody to do anything. This is especially helpful when you got super sheer cliffs with the anchors right next to the cliffs. This is common in Yosemite. Besides for the speed, the nice part is there's no reason not to take this soft release if you only cut it off like right there. Just enough to tie some munters in it, back it up so it doesn't slip. But you don't need the whole 25 or 45 feet if you're going to just transfer all the weight onto a tagline. So tell me what you think in the comments below, if this is something that would be applicable to the high lines you rig, or you can tell us about derigging tricks that you know of. Operating all this stuff while you're near a cliff edge is especially dangerous, especially if you're not clipped in. Therefore, you shouldn't highline. Hey, thanks for watching, but don't be an idiot and go rig your first highline by yourself. There's plenty of people to go with that are more than happy to take you. So go with someone who knows what they're doing the first time you go out. And before trying any new technique that you saw on YouTube, take it to a park and see if it works for you and work out your kinks there. But until you get all those opportunities to try this or to go with somebody who knows what they're doing, check out our other videos and don't forget to subscribe.